I'm Lewis Oakley, and you are watching In Bed with a Bisexual. Today, we're going to be asking the question, will women still find me attractive? So this is something that a lot of men worry about, and it is probably one of the main factors why bisexual men are so unlikely to come out. The statistics are pretty clear. About 90% of bisexual men are in the closet. And one of the main reasons for that is that they think that by being out and being open about being bisexual means that women will no longer find them attractive. So the truth is, yes, women are still going to find you attractive as a bisexual man. The statistics are pretty clear. 83% of bisexual people are in relationships with people of the opposite gender. So there's definitely women out there that are very attracted to bisexual men. There are definitely women out there that are not going to be immediately thrilled about bisexuality, and unfortunately that is just the world we live in. I can't lie to you, that is just a reality. They're not all going to be thrilled about being bisexual. One of the main worries that a lot of women will say to me or have said in the past is that, I'm so paranoid about other women anyway, I can't worry about men as well. And they also say, I worry I wouldn't be enough for you. And that for me is just a bit bizarre. It's like, well, if I were going to date you, I would be dating you. You don't need to worry about who else my hormones might make me attracted to, because cheating is a personality trait. It's not a sexuality trait. Just because I have the capacity to be attracted to men and women does not mean I am attracted to all men and women. I would probably only say that personally I'm only attracted to about 5% of men and about 5% of women. I'm not attracted to everyone. I think maybe as a bisexual person I'm actually more picky. My standards are probably, completely different. I think, probably straight and gay people might be attracted to more people than I am. But I do think a lot of the stuff we face is ignorance. It's not so much biphobia all the time, it's by ignorance. People have never really thought about bisexuality before and could I date a bisexual person? So that is why it is on us to sell it. If you go up to someone you're interested in and it's like, yeah, I'm bisexual, they're going to feel your nervousness about it. If you go up and say, yeah, I'm bisexual, it's really cool. Oh, I've dated this, I've dated that, and I think this, and it's really interesting. They're going to feel like, oh, this, you've got to sell it sometimes. You've got to be happy and proud about who you are. And it's worth knowing some of the stuff. So there was some Australian research done a few years ago, and they found that women in relationships with bisexual men said that their partners were better lovers, fathers, and that they generally were in better relationships than when they were dating straight guys. And if you look at some of the reasons they gave, it makes complete and total sense. They said that their relationships were better than they had with straight men. And one of the reasons given for that is that bisexual men have dated men in the past. And because of that, they understand just how to subtly not have those gender roles. So when I was dating a guy, it wasn't like, you've got boobs, you need to go and clean the kitchen, because that just, we were both the same gender. So to me, it's not even a thing in my head to think that someone should do something based on their gender. It was like, you are terrible at cleaning and I'm great at cleaning, so I'll do all the cleaning. I'm terrible at cooking and you're great at cooking, so you do the cooking. And obviously now I'm dating a girl and I've just completely still got that same attitude. It's like, well, what are you actually good at, babe? And what am I good at? And we'll just divvy up the roles that way. And that was one of the things they found, was that bisexual men, because they have this experience of dating without gender, that they just don't have those subconscious gender biases in a relationship. They also found that bisexual men were better in bed, which is certainly something I've been told on the street, is that bisexual men are better. in bed, and I think you can kind of understand why. You know, a straight man, bless them, has only really got his own experience and porn to kind of learn how to have sex. I always joke that I stole all my moves from all the men I've been with. Bisexual men have had sex with men, some of us. And that means that we have actually seen other men in action. We know what other men have done that drove us crazy. So we can learn from actually having sex with men, and that probably does benefit us when we end up having sex with women. So there are so many benefits to women dating bisexual men, they just might not actually know them. I guess another thing people worry about is that because we're bisexual, we're going to be into some weird, kinky stuff. You know, a lot of people say like, oh, I'm worried, like, you think I'm into weird things. I would say everyone's into weird stuff. I don't think that many people are actually having missionary sex 2.4 times a month or whatever the average is. Everyone is different, so it's just about finding someone that shares your kinks or whatever it is. One of the things I always get asked is like, oh, does your girlfriend use a strap-on with you? And I'm just like, no, that's just not something that I really am into. I wouldn't want any of that stuff. And that's just fine, and that works for me and my girlfriend. It might be different for someone else. So it's all about just finding out that actually we're not weird because we're all doing different stuff in the bedroom. You don't need to worry about it. You just need to find a partner that shares that fetish, or that just shares that that's hot. And the probably main thing as well is monogamy. People assume that because we are attracted to more than one gender that we cannot then therefore be monogamous, which is just bizarre, because that's, you know, we all have attractions outside of who we're dating. It doesn't matter how much you love your husband or your wife, you are still going to be traveling to work one day and glance over and be like, oh, she's hot. If you're straight, or if you're gay, oh, he's hot. Or if you're bisexual, you might be like, oh, she's hot, he's hot. You know, it's just about the fact that you don't act on it. And there are some people that aren't monogamous, and that's fine, that works for them, but you can't just assume that because I am attracted to different genders that I can't be monogamous. That's just makes it, well, it's just not true. But I guess I want to kind of give you guys some confidence in approaching women, because honestly, you know, 90% of bisexual men being in the closet is not a joke. And it does come down usually to this issue of women aren't going to find me attractive if I am out and honest about who I am. But the main thing, obviously, is that there are going to be women that are not going to be attracted to you. You know, the amount of women that I've met, not even in a romantic context, and it's just come up, oh, you know, I'm bisexual. And the first thing they say is, oh, I could never date a bisexual man. And it's like, I didn't want to date you anyway. Like, and take it. Like, why are you coming out with that for? I think at a certain point you do have to have some self-respect. And I always kind of look at it as the way I do with race. So I'm mixed race. If someone came up to me in a bar or on a date and said, oh, I could never date a mixed race guy, I wouldn't feel bad about myself. I'd be like, oh, thank God you said that. Now I know what kind of person you are. I don't want to date you. And it's the same with being bisexual. It's like, yeah, you might have some questions, because sometimes people do have questions about something they haven't encountered before, such as bisexuality. So yeah, you might have to tell them about it and answer their questions. But if someone outright is saying to you, oh, I don't want to date you because you're bisexual, to me that's just the same as them saying, I don't want to date you because you're mixed race. Well, piss off then. That doesn't, like, I'm glad you told me now, because I don't want to date you now. You've got to have some self-respect. So go out there with that kind of confidence that you might meet someone that might have a few questions, but will get it. And you can tell them all the benefits of dating a bisexual guy, and that will maybe work out. But if someone is just going to be hostile to you and say, I'm not going to date you because of who you are, well, you can't change your sexuality any more than you can change your skin color. So if someone's going to be like that, then don't date them. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you can't force people to want to date people. But you don't have to sit there and feel bad that someone won't date you because of your identity. Just tell them to go away. there are plenty more people out there. There are definitely going to be women out there that will see the positive sides of you and that will not think that bisexuality is even that big of an issue. So it's just about staying out there, staying consistent, and finding the right person. You know, not everyone is going to like you, but it's about finding that right person. Thanks for watching, guys. I am Lewis Oakley, and you have been in bed with a bisexual.